Okay, so the NAR lawsuit verdict is here. First off, it's a proposed settlement, so nothing has gone into place yet. I just like to remind everyone of that. This could change. They could change the ruling, it could get shot down. A lot of things that could happen. However, we are already seeing the MLSs, a lot of associations, a lot of states making changes that are proposed in this to put them into place as of July 1st. So we're assuming that more than likely the settlement's going to be approved and that NAR is going to meet a lot of the demands, if not all of the demands, of the attorneys. Heard a lot of changes coming to the industry. A lot of agents are freaking out. A lot of home buyers and home sellers might not even know what's happening, but they're getting a lot of incorrect information. I'm seeing sites saying agents are going to massively slash their commissions, or it's going to get a lot cheaper to buy or sell a home. And, we're seeing these headlines and they're not exactly accurate. The one thing I can tell you as someone that's witnessed and understood how lawsuits work is that guess who's getting paid? The lawyers, right? These lawyers are going to get probably $200 million or half of this settlement. They're going to make a lot of money, and that's usually how lawsuits work. And the sellers who were part of this will probably get pennies on the dollar in terms of some sort of agreement from the settlement, but the lawyers are going to get paid. So let's never get fooled as to who gets paid when it comes to a lawsuit. And just want to remind you all that the people that brought this lawsuit forward were lawyers, right? So this was a cash grab, like it always is. Will it change things in our industry? Absolutely. Are those things going to be for the best? I'm going to jump into that shortly. But I wanted to let you know that what we're seeing so far is that changes aren't going to be great. So I'd like to start with the home buyers because the consumer is the most important, and home buyers are going to be the ones most affected by this. And that's the reality. It's going to be a massively negative effect on home buyers, in my opinion, in the opinion of pretty much everyone I'm hearing that's a lot more experienced than I am and understand our industry and have been in our industry a lot longer than I have. And they're saying this is a massive, massive blow to home buyers, okay? Home buyers are being affected because real estate agents that are cutting their commission, they're not cutting their commission just because this lawsuit says so. What's happening is to me it's a direct attack on home buyers. This is going to make home buying a less protected process because you're not working with a professional that understands the law. And it's also going to make it more expensive for you as a home buyer because in a lot of cases, if there's a seller that's not willing to offer a commission, you're going to have to pay your agent, which hasn't always been the case in the past. And I'll explain. It has been the case, but not always, and I will explain. So I'd like to let everyone understand that home buying is a privilege. It's a right of everyone. If you qualify, if you have the credit, if you have the cash saved, you can buy a home. And it's been pretty affordable because the seller, and we'll get into why, has offered a co-op commission that covers the buyer's agent's commission, right? And the buyer's privileged to work with a great buyer's agent that a lot of times they don't end up having to pay because that's been paid by the seller's broker, okay? So the commissions are always negotiable. Commissions are always negotiable. They always have been. There's no standard. And if you're a home seller or a home buyer, you understand that. And if your agent didn't explain it to you well, then that needs to be changed for sure. But commissions have always been negotiable. All right. We're gonna let we normally when we meet with sellers, we let them know, okay, hey, here's what our commission is. We negotiate with them, and we let them know we're paying a portion of that to a home buyer. Home buyers agents. Reason being, even as a listing agent, we understand how important working with a good buyer's agent is, okay? Buyer's agents are invaluable. They understand the laws, they help prevent lawsuits, they understand the regulations, they help guide their buyers to the table. They help getting them through inspections and appraisal contingencies and finding the right financing and how they might qualify. A lot of our clients I've met through a rental and hey, by the way, it looks like you qualify for a home. And like, really? I thought I had to put 20% down, or I thought my credit was too low. And instead of them renting, I turned them into a home buyer. A good buyer's agent will create opportunity for their buyers by finding and understanding the market and providing the right deals. So understand how important home buying agents are and why they are massively affected by this change and why you need one. All right. Now, they show buyers homes securely and safely as well, and they're able to get you in and out without any liability of any theft, any damages to the property. There's so many things home buyer agents do that are their responsibility that the buyer sometimes isn't even aware of, and it helps buyers become homeowners, right? So home selling agents will offer a co-op commission because they understand how important it is. And the selling so in our state, we explain this well to our home sellers, and our home buyers know this. But now, if home sellers aren't offering co-op agents commissions, in my opinion, if you're a home buyer, and most home buyers don't know the ins and outs of buying a house because they're not doing it constantly like we are, you've lost the opportunity to work with an agent, and it becomes a much scarier process, right? It also opens up a lot of legal liability issues, right? Also, if you really want to work with an agent, which you should, it becomes much more expensive if the home seller isn't offering a co-op commission. And that puts a lot of people out of the opportunity to buy a home, right? So if you have to add in on top of the closing costs and your down payment and title insurance and your inspection and your appraisal and all the things that go into buying a home, you have to now pay a commission to an agent. That knocks a lot of people out of the qualification to buy a home safely. This is a direct attack on home buyers. And in a time where 30% of homes are being bought by institutional buyers, by massive funds, we're now making it harder for home buyers to buy homes. Average home buyers, average income, slightly above average to lower income, which is the majority of our country. It's now significantly harder for you to buy a home, significantly more expensive and significantly more liability involved in you buying a home. What do you think is going to happen? More of these institutional buyers are going to come out of the woodworks and they're going to buy more homes because they have less regular home buyers to compete with. And now we're going to become more of a rental society. This is a massive shame, and I really, really hope that we can find a way to backtrack some of this to make it more affordable for home buyers to buy homes. Because if we keep it the way it is, and we allow more and more institutions to purchase single-family homes in America, we're going to become a rental society. And everyone knows how that goes, all right? I don't need to mention any other countries, but it's a reality, right? So we want to see more Americans become homeowners. We want to see you add value to your portfolio, add value to your family, and add value to your life by becoming a homeowner. And if it's more expensive, that's a direct hit. Now let's talk about the sellers briefly. A lot of home sellers are saying, well, this is great for me. I don't have to pay a home buyer's agent's commission. Okay, but just remember, the houses you're looking at from prior to this decision that maybe we're selling for $400,000, let's say in your neighborhood the average price is $400,000. That house factored in a home buyer's agent's commission. So are you now going to reduce your home by that certain amount and sell it for less, which brings down the value in your neighborhood because now the comps are all going down because you're saying, I want to sell for less and pay less out to agents. Okay, we're going to list the house for less. And in the end, values will come down. In the end, also, inventory will go up significantly because less and less home buyers will be able to buy homes. So these massive bidding wars where you're getting 20% over your asking price and no inspections, well, when you change the amount of buyers that can afford your home from maybe 10 to maybe 2, less competition equal less qualified offers. Less qualified offers equal you get less, right? So home sellers, I hope they're factoring that in. But also remember, after you sell your home, you then become the home buyer. So then you, if you want to use a qualified agent and you're using a qualified agent to sell your house, you're going to want to use a qualified agent to buy your home because you understand the value in an agent. a good agent, then you are affected directly by this as well. So it's not just as simple as the home seller is going to make more money. There's a lot more to factor. Also, you're opening up yourself to fair housing rules. I mean, if you as the seller gets to pick and choose what buyer you are giving a concession to pay their agent, don't we see where that can become an issue? That can become a liability, and nobody wants that. That's why you hire agents to protect you from running into liability problems. So I think it puts home sellers in a terrible position. I think it puts their agent in a tough position as well, because if they have more home buyers coming to them directly, that agent's taking on the liability of two transactions, and they're really representing the seller, not the buyer. So something important to understand as a home seller, it's not just that it's going to be cheaper for you to sell your house. There's a lot of shifts that happen along the way with a change like this. Lastly, I'd like to address the agents involved, and I hope we all understand this. We're the last thing that matters. I always say this to my agents. Yes, you're important. That being said, our clients are the most important. They are what come back. They are the number one thing we think about. So I'll address us last, because in the transaction, we are the least important, in my opinion. We keep everything together, but we have to remember who the key is, and that is our clients. A lot of agents in our industry are freaking out right now. A lot of them. I'm getting the text messages, I'm getting the calls, I'm getting the phone, the voicemails, I'm seeing the emails. People are freaking out. Let's calm down. Number one, please remember this proposal hasn't been passed yet. Please be calm. Number two, when it is approved, you will survive. If you're a good agent and you understand how this business works, you'll be resourceful, you will adapt, and you will find ways to make it work. We're already brainstorming ways to make this work that we think could actually benefit us. Yes, will it shrink our industry? Yes, and that's unfortunate. I'm really sorry for those agents that are going to find this too difficult of a hurdle to clear and leave the industry. It's a shame, because I got into this industry to have a much more upside than my 9 to 5. I understand I work significantly more, but I love it because it gives me the freedom I want to gain as much as I'd like to gain by working as hard as I'd like to work, and I like to work very hard, and I know a lot of agents do as well. So if you find that you are negatively affected by this, I'm sorry, and I hope you find a positive spin on it. And if you ever want to talk about that, feel free to give me a call. There's going to be a lot of people losing their jobs, unfortunately. Websites that rely on buyer agent leads from MLSs such as Zillow, Redfin, Trulia, Realtor.com, Homes.com, all these websites, they're probably going to have to shrink their staff. So people are going to be losing jobs because of this. And that's really unfortunate. I hate to hear that. But that's what's playing out. And when the lawyers win, everybody else loses here, right? So it is unfortunate. It's part of the game. We have to understand. We have to adapt. But what brokerages are already talking about convenient ways to adapt that can still get their clients top dollar, that can still show their sellers how important it is to offer a buyer's agent's commission. And I do believe our industry is resilient. We have a lot of smart people, a lot of savvy business people in our industry, and I believe that we will survive. So stick it out, be safe, let's see how this settles, and hopefully this doesn't drive us into becoming a rental economy, because that's the last thing we need. We need home buyers, we need homeowners, we need wealth in America, we need people building up their portfolios, we need people transferring wealth along their generations, and we know homeownership is a huge part of that. So stay strong, stay focused, understand the changes, play within the rules, but understand how you need to adapt to make sure that your home buyers and sellers are still making the right choices that will get them what they want, which is the most money, the easiest transaction, and less litigation or potential issues along the way when it comes to selling or buying their home. I believe this will course correct a bit at some point. We have to understand that. We as agents have to understand that at some point, some of this might be backtracked because they might realize it was a mistake. Can't bank on that though. So we have to adapt. We have to find a way to make it plausible for our clients to buy homes with the proper protection. And we have to understand that shifts happen in every business, and shifts will continue to happen in our industry. Even after this, things change. It's on us to figure it out, to adapt, and to make sure our clients are protected and make the process as profitable for them and enjoyable for them as possible. I hope this was helpful. If you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out. WilliamHolderRealty@gmail.com or my cell phone 610-657-6215. I'm here. I'm happy to help. I'm not going anywhere. I love what I do, and I plan on sticking around no matter how much changes come our way. Have a great day.